Howdy howdy, what's going on guys, and welcome to a video on Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris. My name is Ventus, and in this video I'm going to show you several builds that can absolutely destroy the worst relic beast in the game, and in general talk about how bad of a boss fight this is. Yeah, I'm talking about none other than Soulstern the Demolisher, the level 72 mantis that can be found in Sōdo Mountains. This is the only relic beast in the game that I 100% hate because of how much damage he can do with a single attack. He can literally wipe out an entire party with just one strike. And I don't know if whoever decided to put him in the game thought that doing that was a joke or a way of teaching players how to play or a way of forcing us to use a certain type of build to quote-unquote fight him. As far as the fight with Soulstern goes, it's going to go very fast no matter what. Either way, he's going to either wipe you out in seconds or you're going to wipe him out in a minute. That's just how the fight is going to go. The first build I'm showing you is a one-handed build, the generic, if you don't use these exact things every single time, you're losing DPS in the comments build. There's nothing wrong with it and it works perfectly fine. But I ask you, what's the point of the other abilities and skills in the game if everything is a one build fits all? The way that I understand it from the chat, comments, and general community, these are the only abilities that you should be using in the game, give or take a couple of more things that work just as well as what's seen. The way I see it with this boss specifically, it really only boils down on who strikes first, unless of course you're using a bow, which in that case, the bow just makes any other weapon in the game irrelevant. Now, I'm not going to say that you can equip some god tier rapier class and do the same thing that you can with the bow, but in my experience, after using a bow with crit hazard build, using anything else seems pointless. As soon as I saw the bow in one of my raids that I was struggling on and what people were doing with it, I didn't want to use the bow because I knew I would feel exactly like this, like it's pointless to use any other weapon. But I decided that sure, other people would want different playstyles. Some just want to use one hand, some just want to use dual wield, or some, like me, just want to use a greatsword. So, wait, here is another build that I used with one hand, and I purposely took off a few of the main abilities for DPS just to prove that with this boss, it really doesn't matter. The only difference that I saw with each variation of the one-handed builds that I used was a few seconds at most, because literally, if you hazard him and use super arts, the fight is pretty much over any way you look at it. It seems to me that the only abilities really needed with very nearly any class in the game is Galvanize for super arts, Sword of the Goddesses, Fire Spark, Reaper's Wrath for your chain burst stuff, you know, like, as far as passives, Two Contenders, Blade Dance, Killing Blow, these are the main abilities and skills to use, and pretty much every build, according to the community, should be centered around those. Sure, there are a couple more things that can add damage, or more crit rate, or more hazard time, or whatever, but I ask you, why are there literally 1,700 abilities in the game if they're not viable? Here's the thing. I want to get creative with my builds and build videos like I was with Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, but it just looks like doing that in this game right now, in this current build of the game, is pointless. If I make a build, I take it up against any relic beast in the game just to see if I can defeat it with that build. And for the most part, whatever I decide to put together for a build usually works on anything except this mantis. So then how can I upload a build and it fails against the mantis, right? I don't want to send my viewers on a mission to get their heads chopped off. I don't know. These are just my thoughts on the game right now in its current state. And listen, don't even get me started on sacred arts. I'm just hoping that one day there will be an update that allows magic to actually be a factor in this game. But honestly, after seeing what this game is, playing with a few dedicated sweaties who literally kill any boss in the game in 10 seconds flat, what's the point of co-op? I mean, I get it. Not everyone in the game is 10-second killing bosses in or out of raids, but technically, everyone has the ability to do so. So if everyone can technically 10-second kill any boss in the game, Why do we need a healer class? Why do we need a tank or support? I honestly just really need to hear your thoughts on this in the comments, because the way I feel right now, the game seems literally just pointless to me. I did a live stream yesterday where I was really frustrated at this Mantis boss because I wanted to use my two-handed to beat him, and I wanted to use whatever. And I just think in a game where they give you so much variety that you should be able to use that variety to play the game any way that you want and win any way that you want. But it just seems like there was nothing that I could do against that Mantis boss. Sure, any other boss in the game, short of Divine Beast and raid bosses, hell, even the raid bosses are sort of weaker than this Mantis thing. I can beat the raid bosses by myself with no help using whatever. But it just seems like this Mantis thing is just, I don't know, is he just in a special class all of its own? Is it just, I don't know, man, because I want to make builds. I want to show people, like, hey, this is what you can do to, you know, be better at the game. But it's just like, okay, I give you this build called the Knight Paladin build that has, like, some stuff from the Knight tree and some stuff from the Berserk tree, or maybe some stuff from the Healer tree or whatever like that, that works the way it's supposed to work. You know, it's a Knight Paladin build. You go in there, you get the aggro, you protect your teammates, you cast a couple of heals or whatever like that. But what's the point if you take it up against the Mantis and you get one shot? Like, you can't tank that. You can't knight that. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it almost seems like really, really pointless to do. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just really need to hear your thoughts, bro. Make me feel differently about this game, because I don't want to say that this game sucks because there's no variety, that everything really boils down to how much DPS you can do and how quickly you can do it and how fast you can crit hazard a boss to kill it. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, man. Oh, yeah, dual wielding. I do that, too. Like, every dual wield that I took up against this thing, it just destroyed the freaking Mantis boss. Just, I don't know. The dual wield's overpowered with Momentum Bite. Momentum Bite seems like the biggest cop-out, whatever. Like, that's like the best skill in the game. It just interrupts whatever boss is doing what, and it can, you know, hazard him or whatever. So, I don't know. Maybe they were just confused when they made the abilities, or maybe I'm just confused on the abilities the way you should be playing the game. Either way, thank you to everybody who stayed through and listened to this entire rant video. I appreciate everyone and all your advice down in the comments. It's just sometimes I might get a little bit like, I don't know, because I feel like you're trying to tell me some stuff I already know, and it's like, hey, I made this build specifically to do this specific thing. Yeah, I know if I use this, it takes away DPS, but the build is meant for hazarding, so that's why I have this hazarding thing on the build. It's like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? A real shout out to the homie that told me how to guard to stop the little animation at the end of the Nova Ascension, man. I appreciate that. And that's some type of advice that I could actually use. You feel me? So whoever gave me that tip, bro, thank you so much. You just saved me a bunch of money on my car insurance. Now I'm playing. Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys.